Today on Public Eye News, voting takes place in many different states today, and later Finland joins NATO as tensions continue to rise with Russia over the Ukraine war.
Later, I will have your weather for the week, and Brad Seaborg will have your sports. Hi, I'm Joe Sigourney.
And I'm Colin Metzger, and this is Public Eye News. A special election tomorrow could determine whether Republicans gain a supermajority in the Wisconsin Senate. If Republican State Representative Dan Nodal wins over Democrat Jody Habush-Sinykin, Republicans would have the power to impeach Democratic Governor Tony Evers and other office holders. In another race in Wisconsin, the race for a Supreme Court seat has topped $42 million, nearly triple the previous national record for a court race. The race for the Wisconsin Supreme Court between Democrat Jeanette Protasewicz and Republican Dan Kelly will determine majority control of the court. Issues like abortion access, redistricting, and Republican priorities hang in the balance. And in Minnesota, a case is on hold while the state pursues a potential appeal after U.S. District Judge Catherine Menendez struck down the proposed state law. The law would prohibit 18 to 20-year-olds from obtaining permits to carry handguns in public. The law was struck down after Judge Menendez cited a landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision on gun rights last year known as the Bruin decision. Menendez stated in her order Friday that she was obligated by the Bruin decision to conclude that the Second Amendment guarantees the right of 18 to 20-year-olds to bear arms in public for self-defense. No hearing date for a response from the plaintiffs has been set yet.
Chicago is holding a mayoral election today between Paul Vallis, a moderate Democrat endorsed by Chicago's police union and major business groups, running against progressive Brandon Johnson, a former teacher and union organizer backed by the Chicago Teachers Union. Both candidates finished ahead of incumbent Mayor Lori Lightfoot in a February election, making her the first incumbent in 40 years to seek re-election in the city and lose. The contest has focused on violent crime and rising property taxes and could have implications for Democrats ahead of other elections. It's seen as a test of organizing power and messaging for both progressives and the party's more moderate wing. And Ohio has a new election law which includes strict photo ID requirements for voting. The law will come into effect as early voting starts today. The law requires some form of photo identification to cast a ballot in person. State-issued photo IDs will be available free with no charge under the new law. The law also changes the window to apply to cast a mail-in ballot to 7 days before Election Day. And the law will also eliminate the curbside voting option that was popular during the pandemic, but is still available to those with disabilities. The government offices are also prohibited from prepaying postage on either absentee ballot application forms or ballot return envelopes. And nearly 45% of public schools nationwide have at least one vacant teaching position, and more than half of the schools report feeling understaffed. That's according to a recent survey by the National Center for Education Statistics. Ashton Martinez reports, in post-COVID America, there may not be enough next-generation teachers to fill the need.
Could someone read number 4 for me?
Nicole Nissel is teaching chemistry to 10th graders at Mount Olive High School in New Jersey. She's a college student filling in as a substitute as she finishes up her degree. Post-pandemic, Nissel knows her very presence is more valuable than ever.
Teacher burnout is very, very high. There have been way more responsibilities added without anything else being added, such as help, such as more time.
Added demands combined with low pay and morale led to an accelerated exodus from the teaching profession during and after the pandemic. It's also why fewer people are choosing careers in the classroom.
I don't believe there's going to be enough teachers in the short term.
Tonya Egan is with Kappa Delta Pi, a national organization that mentors future teachers, hoping to keep them committed to the profession.
Even before COVID, 50% of teachers would quit teaching within the first 5 years.
The lack of prospective teachers in the pipeline has politicians scrambling. President Biden and Democratic lawmakers are proposing higher teacher pay, as are about a dozen governors, both Democratic and Republican.
The average public school teacher salary in the 2020-2021 school year was about $61,000, low compared to many careers requiring similar experience and education levels.
So did you multiply these two?
Nissel plans to stay in New Jersey, a state that is paying teachers more. Her mother, who's been teaching for 18 years, sees the other rewards.
Watching a student learn something new and you see it in their eye, like, I got it. Having those moments keep us going. So I'd say for her to look for those moments.
Nissel says she's already experienced that and hopes those moments will be enough to keep her working in the classroom. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, Flanders, New Jersey.
And don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this break.
You are kidding me.
On Finding Your Roots, Billy Crudup.
These are the forces that shape our lives, you know?
Yeah. And Tamara Mowry.
You know when you always say, I got it from my mama?
A patriot helped settle a city.
How could this not have been passed down?
And an ancestor challenges the establishment.
He was a religious radical.
That's insane!
Plus, a DNA match.
Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
Tonight at 8.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I am Joe Sigourney here with your weather update. Taking a look at the sky cam right now, it's pretty cloudy and precipitation is on its way. Taking a look around the UP, starting in Houghton, it is currently 28 degrees up there. In Ironwood, it's 32. Iron Mountain and Menominee are 36 and 34 and are seeing some mixed precipitation there. Escanaba is at 36, Manistee at 37. In Sault Ste. Marie, it's the warmest at 39 degrees, and back here in Marquette, it is 34 degrees and cloudy. Right now, the winds are northeast at 10 miles an hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.07 inches and rising. Tonight, we can expect, again, mixed precipitation. We could be seeing an inch or two of snow, potential ice accumulation, and the chance for some thunder and lightning, so be prepared for that. Lows of 28 tonight, and winds are going to be east at 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30. And tomorrow, the precipitation will continue. The temperature is going to warm up, which will be nice. Hopefully, any snow that remains will be melted away. A low of 23, though, at night, and winds are going to switch. They'll be southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then taking a look at the end of our week here on Thursday, it'll be a high of 34 degrees and mostly cloudy with a low of 22. Friday, it'll be clear with a high of 36, a low of 24, and then Saturday is looking like it's going to be a gorgeous day, a high of 44 degrees, clear skies, and only a low of 38 degrees. That's all I have for weather. It is back to the news desk.
Thanks for that weather update, Joe. Finland has taken the leap and joined the NATO military alliance today in response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Nordic country has traditionally taken a stance of neutrality, but the invasion of Ukraine sent a wave of fear through many of Russia's neighbors. Finland joined NATO is a strategic and political setback for Vladimir Putin, who has long complained about NATO's expansion and used that as justification in part of the invasion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky sent his congratulations to Finland, stating amid Russian aggression, the alliance became the only effective guarantee of security in the region. Neighboring Sweden is looking to join NATO in the near future with objections from Hungary and Turkey. And environmentalists in Alaska battle over the Willow Project, a major oil project in Alaska's petroleum-rich North Slope, and they lose the first round of their legal battle. The loss means ConocoPhillips would be allowed to continue construction, mining for, and laying down gravel for roads. Environmentalists worry that the noise from the road construction and blasting for mining the gravel could affect the caribou. U.S. District Court Judge Sharon Gleason said that while the project is not supported by all Alaskan natives, she took into account support for the project by Alaskan political leaders while giving considerable weight to other groups as well. And former President Donald Trump made history Tuesday, becoming the first former president in U.S. history to be charged with a crime. Trump has called the hush money investigation a personal and political witch hunt against him. CBS's Michael George has the very latest from Manhattan Criminal Court.
Former President Donald Trump is standing before a judge facing criminal charges in connection with hush money payments made to an adult film star in 2016. The charges relate to falsifying business records pertaining to that payment.
What the prosecution is going to have to show is that the former president formed the intent to commit or conceal another crime.
Trump's motorcade left Trump Tower earlier Tuesday, arriving at the courthouse amid tight security. Across from the courthouse, police have tried to separate pro and anti-Trump protesters. Now, these planned protests don't have a permit, which means that police can declare an unlawful assembly if things get out of hand. Georgia Congresswoman and Trump ally Marjorie Taylor Greene called the proceedings an injustice.
Donald J. Trump is innocent. This is election interference.
And anti-Trump demonstrators say justice has been a long time coming.
It's really satisfying as a New Yorker to see him finally see the inside of a courtroom and face a judge like every other criminal.
Trump's lawyers say they'll fight the prosecution in court. Once back in Florida, the former president plans to hold a rally with invited guests tonight at his Mar-a-Lago estate.
We'll be back with your sports right after this.
On American Experience.
The sun's energy is absorbed and transformed into heat.
Maria Telker was a solar evangelist.
She really imagined this as revolutionizing the way that people lived.
Nothing else would even get close to the Dover Sun House.
She's laying a foundation for pretty much everything now that we do with solar.
The Sun Queen on American Experience.
Tonight at 9 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back. The University of Connecticut Huskies captured their 5th national championship on Monday, defeating the San Diego State Aztecs 76-59. The Huskies completed their tournament run, winning all 6 games by an average of 20 points, a show of dominance not seen since the North Carolina championship run in 2009. UConn began the year unranked after largely rebuilding their team in the transfer portal, a strategy that might look more attractive to programs around the country after this team's impressive performance. UConn coach Dan Hurley utilized the size of forward Adama Sanogo early, a departure from the previous tactics centering around the three-point shot. The Huskies' stifling defense resulted in an 11-minute stretch where the Aztecs missed all 14 field goals they attempted. Sanogo was awarded Most Outstanding Player of the tournament after scoring 17 points and 10 rebounds in the championship game and averaging 19 points and 9.8 rebounds across the entire tournament. And Rafa Nadal has announced he's pulling out of the Monte Carlo Masters tournament set to begin on April 8th. The King of Clay has been out with a hip flexor injury since the Australian Open in January. Nadal has won the tournament a record 11 times, which included a run of 8 straight from 2005 to 2012. Monte Carlo Masters is an important part of the preparation for the clay season, headlined by the French Open in May. Also pulling out of the event is Carlos Alcaraz, who cited arthritis in his left hand and muscular discomfort in his spine, which needs more time to rest. Alcaraz hadn't lost a set since February before pulling out of his semifinal at the Miami Open last week. At just 19 years old, Alcaraz has already achieved the world #2 ranking and looks to continue that ascent this year. And the National Women's Soccer League has announced that an ownership group headlined by former players Ali Wagner and Brandi Chastain will be bringing an expansion team to the San Francisco Bay Area. The group also features former players Danielle Slayton and Leslie Osborne, along with Bay Area investment firm 6th Street. The San Francisco team will bring the league to 14 teams alongside the Utah Royals, who also join in 2024. The league has seen steady growth with Angel City and the San Diego Wave joining last year. The national team alumni Leslie Osborne says, quote, "We can't wait for this dream to become a reality on the field and see the Bay Area represented as a soccer powerhouse," end quote. The league is also expected to announce another new team in Boston sometime in the near future. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you at the news desk.
Well, that's all the time we have today for Public Eye News. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joe Sigourney.
And I'm Colin Metzger.
We will see you tomorrow.
Preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.